Good morning, everyone. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hola a todos.
And make sure that we have gallery. That way we can see everybody. The other day I had it only on speaker, and so it was just on one person at a time. We were all here. So anyway, good morning, buenos dias. How was your weekend, ladies?
Muy buenos días. El mío fue excelente. Fue un fin de semana de relajación, entonces estuvo bien.
Oh, I love it. Y Sarah?
El mío estuvo excelente también. I finished some cleaning. I built up a bookshelf and I felt all amazing, productive, and
Can't touch this.
you can
Power.
touch
I love
this.
it. That's fantastic. Yeah, when you get a bookshelf put together and it doesn't fall apart, you feel so, you're like, put the first things on and you're like, oh gosh, I hope this works.
No, it was amazing. Like, I felt so powerful.
Oh, I love it. Okay, for everybody who's watching, good morning. Leave me an emoji to tell me how your weekend was this weekend. Was it like there? I love the new emoji that's like this, the happy face like melting into the ground. That's like my new favorite emoji because that's kind of how life is. But yes, if one of you can translate that for me, I would love it.
Sí, por favor, todos los que nos están viendo, déjenos un emoji, déjenos saber cómo fue su fin de semana, qué hicieron, qué comieron, con quién la pasaron. Por favor, queremos saberlo todo.
Okay, thank you so much. So what I want to talk about today and what I really want to get clear on kind of for the rest of the week and invite everyone into is choosing the kind of day I'm going to have. And actually, and it can be moment by moment. I posted this in Slack for the firm last week. So I know, ladies, some you may have seen it, but I think it's really worth revisiting because we can choose how we show up and how we experience things. Because if Sarah shows up in a bad mood or Dulce shows up like really cranky, that can affect me, or I can choose for it not to. Because if I come to a meeting and my decision before I come into a meeting is that I choose, and you just choose one word, I choose to be positive. So it takes about 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, where you kind of breathe in, breathe out, and you make a choice and you get really clear on the word. So if you're going to have an argument, discussion with your spouse, it helps a lot, trust me, to make a decision about who you're going to be in that discussion, who you're going to be in that conversation. Because then you walk out of it without regret. Hopefully, sometimes you forget who you were supposed to be and you walk out, you're like, damn, I forgot that I was supposed to be patient or kind or compassionate or empathetic. Instead, I was an asshole. Better luck next time. Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
Exacto, entonces hoy vamos a hablar de un tema que de hecho hemos hablado con parte del equipo, que es elegir cómo presentarse, elegir cómo sentirse ese día un poquito. Por ejemplo, lo hablábamos un poquito, cómo quiero presentarme a esta reunión, cómo quiero presentarme a esta discusión. La abogada da el ejemplo de cuando se tiene una discusión de pareja. En esta discusión de pareja, cómo quiero sentirme, cómo quiero llevar la conversación. Y a veces eliges paciente, a veces eliges una persona amable y a veces no funciona, a veces definitivamente termina siendo lo contrario a eso. Y es como, oh, no, olvidé que iba a ser paciente con mi esposo o mi esposa. Pero el chiste es intentar y hacer una decisión consciente de cómo queremos presentarnos y tomarnos 15, 20 segundos para cerrar los ojos y decir, así me quiero presentar, esta es la actitud que quiero tener. Y lo importante de esto es que pones una intención y después cuando dejas esa conversación, cuando te vas, ya no tienes remordimiento. ¿Por qué? Porque conscientemente elegiste, lo intentaste y este es el resultado.
Yes, I love it. It's important that we choose because that's how we're going to experience life. Dulce, what do you think about this?
I'm breathing. Realmente es. I decided to pick like an emotion this week, actually.
Okay.
In every single day, cada día nosotros tomamos esta decisión justo como la abogada lo acaba de comentar. Cómo queremos comenzar nuestro día, incluso es una decisión donde todos nos levantamos y usualmente en nuestra cultura mexicana es me levanté con el pie derecho o me levanté con el pie izquierdo. ¿Con qué pie decides levantarte tú y esto es lo que define tu día. Solo tener en cuenta que nosotros tenemos el poder, tú mismo tienes el poder de cambiarlo, de tomar y decir, hey, yo puedo, me levanté con el pie izquierdo, pero yo decido mejorar esto. Así que realmente es algo que todos los días por circunstancias me ha pasado. Y long story short, este fin de semana pasó una situación como difícil en el banco y yo dije, no, eso no va a definir mi fin de semana. Así que sí podemos.
Boom. I love it. I love that decision. Sarah, can you share for the English speakers like me? I get the gist and I love Dulce because you know where Dulce is at. Even if you don't, like if you speak French, you still know what Dulce says. Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly. So she was expressing how on this, specifically this weekend, she had a situation at the bank. We all have this situation.
Bank.
And she decided that wasn't going to ruin her weekend. She was like, no, I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to decide, I'm going to let this go. And this is just a situation. I'm going to go on with my amazing weekend. And in the Mexican culture, we say you woke up on the bad side of the bed with the right foot, the left foot. And that kind of works for people. But at the end of the day, we all have the ability to say, okay, this wasn't my best morning. I forgot to have my coffee or I spilled my coffee, but that's not gonna affect the rest of my day. I still have another 8 hours, another 10 hours to turn this around. And I think that's really important because it kind of makes us feel in charge of our lives. It's not like things happening to us and us reacting. It's like, okay, things happen, but this is me and this is not gonna change who I choose to present myself as this today, which is happy, which is positive, which is grateful even.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. It was interesting because I observed my husband and my son who were both sick with the same thing this weekend. And my husband was like miserable. He's got a head cold. His eyes are watery. He thinks it's allergies, but my son had it at the same time and my son doesn't have allergies. And then I have kind of a runny nose today. So I think it's actually he's sick. I didn't tell him that I think he's sick because I didn't want it to get in his head. He was miserable. Everything he did, he was miserable. But my 4-year-old, like, he's just unfazed. He's got snot like dried to his face like little kids do. And he's running around, giggling. He's like blowing snot bubbles and laughing about it. He doesn't feel good either. His eyes are all watery, but you could just see the difference in decision. Like, it also helps that little kids are like werewolves. They like get a scratch and then by nighttime they're healed. So they just have all this, maybe it's just all this good energy in them. But it was amazing to kind of watch, like, my kid, he didn't know that he was doing it. He was choosing how he was going to feel. He obviously feels crappy. He coughed all night long. He slept with me last night. So I can promise you he coughed all night long. But this morning I woke up and I was like tickling his feet and singing him silly songs and he was giggling. My husband sat on the edge of the bed this morning like, why God do I have to get out of bed today? And it's just I mean, we've all been there and I am not judging either one of them, but it is one of those things when you're watching, like, it's a decision. He chose to feel good today. My little guy did. And that's, I mean, my word for the week is playful. I want to come into meetings and be playful because I'm pretty serious and intense sometimes. I don't know if you know that about me, but I want to be playful because I saw that in my kids where if they can when we bring a playfulness to things, everything is more fun. Even difficult things are more fun.
Exacto, ok. Entonces, la abogada, por ejemplo, tuvo una experiencia similar este fin de semana cuando su esposo y su pequeño hijo de 4 años estuvieron enfermos de lo mismo, tenían el mismo malestar, ¿no? Tenían ojos llorosos, la nariz les escurría y decidieron enfrentar esto de manera diferente. O sea, su esposo se estaba sintiendo mal, todo parecía muy, muy cansado, muy, muy difícil. En cambio, su hijo estaba corriendo por todos lados y jugando y aunque se sentía mal, tenía esta actitud como feliz ante la vida. Y obviamente es diferente, ¿no? Un adulto tiene otras responsabilidades, se siente diferente, los niños son como muy revolucionados y nada les impide jugar. Sin embargo, al final del día es una decisión. Uno puede decidir sentirse mal y como dejarse arrastrar por eso. O puedes elegir, esto es la circunstancia que estoy pasando y elijo hacerlo mejor de ella, ¿no? No puedo hacer muchas cosas, pero lo que pueda hacer, lo voy a hacer con la mejor actitud posible. Entonces, para ella, ese ejemplo, lo que ella quiere traer hoy a sus meetings, a las personas con las que se reúna, es como este pequeño, el término juguetón o juguetona, ¿no? Este sentido de agregar diversión a lo que sea que tengas que hacer. A veces ella puede ser muy seria y muy directa. Entonces quiere traer esto porque siempre que algo es divertido, siempre que algo es, no lo sé, nos trae felicidad, todo resulta más fácil. Entonces, para ella la palabra de esta semana, como se quiere presentar, es en ese tono juguetón, divertido.
Okay, I love it. Ladies, can you, when it's time, and you have a moment, go over to Facebook, because we're streaming live through Zoom, but can you share here what your word of the week is going to be? And then I'm going to remind you, you have to remind me. Please don't remind me if I'm in the middle of a rant. Maybe just like send me a private message. But let's hold each other accountable. And everybody who's watching, I see there are 10 people watching right now. Can you please share what your word of the week is going to be? Who are you choosing to be this week? Who are you choosing to show up as this week when you come into, whether it's into the office, whether it's going in the grocery store, whether it's going into the bank to deal with people who are frustrating you because they're not doing their job, whether you're coming into a consultation at New Frontier Immigration Law, who are you going to be this week? Sarah, you go first.
Ok, entonces lo que vamos a hacer en este momento es que, bueno, la abogada ya compartió que quiere ser como juguetona o divertida y nosotras, Dulce y yo, vamos a compartir también nuestra palabra y las personas que nos están viendo, por favor, díganos en los comentarios qué palabra quieren elegir para esta semana, cómo se quieren presentar, cómo están eligiendo sentirse esta semana. Y vamos a tratar de recordarnos uno a otra, ¿no? Vamos a apoyarnos, vamos a estar ahí la una para la otra. Esta semana yo quiero presentarme como alguien creativo, quiero traer soluciones, quiero ayudarle a la gente con soluciones y no problemas. Entonces, esta semana quiero ser muy creativa en cómo afronto los retos. ¿Qué hay de ti, Dulce?
Ay, esta fue una pregunta difícil. Quiero presentarme como una persona confiable.
Is it confidence?
Yes.
Yes. I feel like I'm on like Jeopardy. It's like, what word is it? What word can I find? Confidence. You're coming in with confidence. I love it.
Sí. Esta es quien voy a ser esta semana y espero ser mejor que ella.
Okay, Sarah, what was your word? I didn't catch it.
My word was creative. I want to come to people with solutions and not problems. I want to help them, find new ways to work around something, maybe bring new ideas. I don't know. I want to be creative.
Be creative. I love it. Okay, well, this is we just finished the full moon, and so it's giving us all this cool energy. So it is the right week to be creative, playful, and confident. And as we show up, I mean, before you start a meeting, before you interact with someone, every single time, take that 15 seconds, do a breath in, a breath out, and say, I am. And it's your thing. I am playful. And then everything is easier because you're going to walk into that meeting doing that. And then if you didn't show up that way, you can ask yourself, did I do my best? Did I do my best? Hey, I wasn't very playful in this situation. Did I do my best? No, I didn't. This is how I can improve. Because every single interaction, every single thing that God sends us is a little micro test. Life is all these little teeny tiny tests of whether we're going to keep our word to ourselves. So I am excited for the day. Sarah, if you can translate, and then Dulce, if you can share your thoughts, and we'll wrap up our little mindset moment for the morning.
Así es, entonces es un excelente momento para ser divertida, para ser creativa y para tener confianza. Ayer disfrutamos todos del eclipse, un fenómeno natural increíble. Sí. Entonces queremos invitar a todas las personas que nos están viendo a tomarse esos 15 segundos, esos 20 segundos y decidir cómo se quieren presentar, ya sea en la oficina, ya sea en el banco, ya sea en el súper, donde sea que tengas que ir. Incluso si es una consulta con nosotros, con Nueva Frontera, elige cómo te quieres sentir. Y si después de esa interacción no lo lograste, pregúntate si hiciste lo mejor de ti para hacerlo. Si sí, muy bien, puedes continuar. Y si no, inténtalo la siguiente vez. Es así como aprendemos a mejorar. Todo lo que vivimos a través del día son pequeñas tareas, son pequeñas pruebas que Dios nos manda. Entonces estamos seguras que si te lo propones, vas a elegir presentarte yo soy. En este caso para mí es creativa y estoy muy emocionada por lo que estas pequeñas decisiones pueden hacer en el día de alguien. A lo mejor no en el tuyo, a lo mejor en el de la persona con la que vas a interactuar. Entonces, estoy muy emocionada por esta semana presentarme creativa.
Yes, I can't wait to see it too. It's always good. Dulce, what about you? What are your thoughts as you close us out for today?
Bueno, realmente, como lo mencionaron en el eclipse, fue algo importante el día de ayer. Creo que eso nos renueva a dejar toda la parte del pasado y a comenzar un nuevo hoy. Esto me deja solo para terminar con ustedes en el hecho de que cualquier cosa o cualquier sentimiento con el cual tú te encuentres está bien. Lo más importante es que va a pasar y que eso te va a hacer mejor persona. Todos los días somos mejor persona. Gracias.
I love it. Okay. Yay. If you want to get notifications of when we go live, Sarah, do you know how to describe? So when we come on for our Mindset Monday or Coffee con Corazón, we want people to know that it's happening because we usually go on between 8 and 8:15 every Monday. Can you tell people how they can get notifications? Because Facebook only alerts about 4 to 6% of our viewers of the things that we're doing. So we have, I don't know how many people are fans of our page, but only a tiny percentage of those people are able to see what we're doing unless they tell Facebook, notify me.
Exacto, sí. Lo que queremos hacer es, si tú quieres unirte a estas como conversaciones de corazón cada lunes que las tenemos, puedes ir a Facebook y le puedes dar me gusta a la página, pero además puedes activar las notificaciones. Más tarde vamos a presentar justo en nuestro Facebook un pequeño tutorial de cómo hacerlo para que no te pierdas estas conversaciones. Queremos platicar contigo, queremos saber de ti y estamos muy emocionados, obviamente, de saber cómo te vas a presentar esta semana.
Okay, I love it. Gracias, ladies, y hasta próxima semana en lunes.
Así es.
Bendiciones.
Adiós.
Gracias.